YouTube, Dog Pound Nation? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the morning rant. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cleveland Browns. We got some Browns news that's been happening in the last few days, but before we get into all that, you're new to the channel, you're stopping by, please take that time right now. Join the family, new channel, can't do it without you. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell. So please, hit that subscribe, join the family, hit that like, can't do it without you. So please, join the family. So also, other news. I know it's not football related, but I think some of you might be interested in this. It's a pretty good cause. I'm going to be working on it with a few different people. Pretty serious about it. Going to be starting another YouTube channel. It's not football related. I'm not going to spend a lot of time breaking this down because you guys pretty much will get the idea of what's going to take place, and I feel the channel will take off because everybody is interested in getting these scumbag sexual predators off the street. I've already started this process on Tinder. I've already got one guy, as you can see right here. He's a local here in Western New York. He agreed to meet with a 14-year-old little girl. Exchanged phone numbers, pictures were sent. You get the gist, right, of what took place. So it's a good cause. It's something I feel I need to do. I've watched a lot of these on YouTube, and it just makes me want to contribute to help get these scumbags off the street. I'm going to get the channel up and going in the next few weeks, but this is pedophile number one. What's going to take place in these videos is it didn't happen with this guy because he's actually down south in Alabama and wasn't coming back for about a week and a half. But he was wanting to meet up when he got back. But it was just hard to carry on that conversation. He kept trying to... I don't have the decoy set up as of right now. I do have a female decoy that I was using for this gentleman, but not the decoy that I want to use at a full-time thing. But he did send provocative pictures, wanted to meet up when he got back. He thought he was talking to a 14-year-old little girl. Yeah, I blew them up already. Some chat logs. Got them all. Gonna get them all printed out. Get a binder together. And I gave him the ultimatum. When you come back, you're gonna meet with me, or I'm turning everything over to the police. So that's up to him. Well, he decided not to meet up with me. He's ignored me because I told him he's gonna have to stay in contact with me every day. But he hasn't, so I already contacted the local sheriff's department. I have to get the evidence over to him, and we'll go from there. But yes, typically, I'm going to interview these scumbags, have them come meet what they think is a 14-year-old little girl, and it's going to be recorded. I'm going to put the whole thing up on YouTube, every catch, and see how this can take off. And it's just amazing. On Tinder, I had the other day, I just started my account. Out of 10 guys that was interacting with me, 3 of them were interested in a 14-year-old girl. So just picture that. Crazy, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. So please, if you're interested, hit that like if you like what I'm gonna start up this other channel. So please hit me a like with this. But that's all I got for now. I'll keep you guys updated. Get this channel rolling. It's a good thing, and I would love you guys to support it. So anyway, let's get into it. I know I carried on a little bit too much with that because we got some Browns news. We need to get into some big news happened out of Berea. The Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski and staff have let Mike Prefer go of his special teams duties. I don't know what took so long with this. I'm glad it happened. I was very, very worried going into this upcoming season as Prefer as our special teams coordinator, because the last few years since he's been in Cleveland, I think he's had one good season since he's been here from the Vikings, and it's just gotten worse every year. Our return game has been asked since he's been here. I think Jerome Ford was picking it up. But that was just talent. He was pretty much doing that work. I don't think Prefer had too much to do with that. When it comes to recovering onside kicks, was a huge issue this past season. It was just mind blowing. Back-to-back games. How we blew the game against the Jets with the the coverage he was using for those onside kicks were just mind blowing, and he did it back to back, and he needed to go. Right there are fireable offenses, if you ask me. Blowing games with just the most ridiculous onside kick coverage. And, he's not going to have. I don't see Prefer finding another job this year because there's just not a lot of openings. But the guy that is going to be replacing Prefer is he's solid. He was the special teams coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. Excuse me, I'm looking here at my laptop. We're gonna break this down a little bit. Tom Pelissero, tweeted out the Cleveland Browns requested an interview with Colts special teams coordinator Bubba Ventrone, who is considered a top candidate for this same job in Cleveland. He is a former Browns special team ace. If you remember, this dude was a stud on special teams. Well, he's got the Ventrone. He's got the Indianapolis Colts NFL. He one of the top NFL special team units, top 5. I think the Colts were ranked 5, if I'm not mistaken. Solid. I don't think the Browns would let Prefer go if they didn't. They weren't. Positive that they were going to bring this guy in and get the job. So it's a great move. I'm very excited to see that. Excuse me. We got the defensive coordinator position filled. Now we got the special teams positions going to be filled. I'm very very excited about that because this guy, top 5. He knows the deal with the special teams as it is because if you remember when he was in Cleveland, the dude was a stud. He was our ace in the hole. Other news though, so we got that. That's great news. We'll talk more about it when it takes place, when he is brought in to make it official. Other Browns news is what is that? Oh, Josh Gordon. Oh, before we get into that, Cleveland Browns likely to pick up Jedrick Will's 5th-year option. We really don't have a choice in the matter right now, other than to pick up his 5th year. It is very, very hard to fill that left tackle position, as we all know. So, I mean, I could see, hopefully, because the guy's got the talent. He really does. We all know he was right tackle when he was in college at Alabama. We switched him over to left. It's not really been, working out the way we thought it, would. I honestly thought he would transition and be a Hall of Fame type, left tackle. But Jedrick Wills, he's notorious for taking plays off. He just doesn't finish the play. That's the biggest knock on him. He's battled a lot of injuries since he's been in the league as well. But for the most part, he plays through them. Don't know if that's a huge factor. I'm sure it plays a little role in it. But the main thing with this kid, he's just a lazy player. A very, very lazy player. And I just don't understand how, we got one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, in the business, in Callahan. And can you imagine if we didn't have Callahan? Because he gets the most out of your players. Callahan. Can you imagine what he would be if we didn't have Callahan? So, I mean, I just wish he'd pull his head out of his ass because he'd probably be a good left tackle. I mean, if you really put more heart into the game, more, it's disappointing because we could have had, what's the left tackle, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Wirfs or whatever his name is there. He's turned out to be quite the left tackle down there with the Buccaneers. And, this is it. I think if this is going to be Jedrick's last year, if he don't pan out, I think we're going to let him go, obviously. Hopefully he just pans out. You know what I mean? because you know, he could. Oh man, Josh. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna read you guys. Yeah, we're just going along here, ranting along this morning, enjoying a cup of coffee. Interview. Oh, Indianapolis Colts. Bubba Ventrone interviewing with the Browns. So that was 16 minutes ago. So yes, an update on that. Get back into that with the Bubba Ventrone. He is going to interview with the Cleveland Browns. That was as of 16 minutes ago. So it's official. Guaranteed he gets the job. Why wouldn't you? I'd be shocked if he walks out of Cleveland not hired. Let's see here. What do we got here? What do we got? Oh, that's right. We got other news too, as the Cleveland Browns are going to hire a new safeties coach. He's college. Hire, I can't even pronounce his name. Ephraim Banda as safeties coach. He's the Browns coaching staff is starting to come together. The Cleveland Browns are hiring Utah State's defensive coordinator, Ephraim Banda. Alright, I don't know anything about him, but I did hear a little bit about him. He's never coached in the NFL. It's only for the safety, for safety coordinator or safeties coach. Nothing that, he's not going to be our defensive coordinator or anything. So we are hiring him. Also, Josh Gordon, former Cleveland Browns wide receiver. Josh Gordon finds a home at the XFL's Seattle Sea Dragons. All right, and the XFL is already kicked off, and Josh Gordon had a hell of a game. His first game with the Sea Dragons. I know Josh Gordon's old news, but I've always kept tabs on him, watching him bounce around the NFL. It's kind of a sad story because this kid, do you remember when he was with the Browns? I remember the one game I went to against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was at that game, had a career day. Dude went off. He had like 12 receptions for 265 yards, a couple touchdowns. I remember Brandon Whedon hit him over the middle on a slant, and he took it to the house. Dude, that dude had will. He had all the talent in the world, and he just couldn't get it together. Can you imagine if he put as much effort as he did off the street with what he was doing into the game of football, what he would have been? Think about that. And I met Josh Gordon as well. I met him at a Cleveland Browns backers banquet here in Western New York in Rochester. He did come. And the funny thing is about that, I'm going to tell you a little story about that. He came to the banquet knowing he was going to be suspended. All right, because the banquet at that time, it was right before the draft. And he knew, because it was his birthday. It was in April, and it was his birthday, and he was leaving. Because he was going around talking with everybody. He even stated he was leaving that banquet tonight, going to Canada, and to celebrate party for his birthday. And he just got drug tested, obviously right before he came to the banquet, because that following day, it broke out that he failed his drug test. So he already knew. He took that drug test prior to that, way before the banquet, probably like a week before, because that very next day, bam. As I was watching the draft unfold, I remember it came, down the bottom of the screen. Josh Gordon failed his drug test. I already knew what was good. So he already knew when he was at that banquet, and it kind of just blows my mind the things he was saying and how he's going to have this breakout year. But anyway, yeah, I met the kid. Very quiet though. You can tell he's not. He's not a people's person. It looks like. You can tell the guy is quiet. But anyway, Gordon had a good day for the Dragons. He caught 6 balls for 74 yards and a touchdown in a 22-18 loss to the DC Defenders. Talent was never really a problem with Gordon. He's fought his share of demons, been in and out of the NFL repeatedly, but he possesses the type of talents at wide receiver that offensive coordinators and quarterbacks crave. Josh Gordon couldn't get it together off the field with which was well documented. Gordon had the ability to dominate a game from the wideout position, showed in one or more occasions with the Browns. The dude, like I just said, man, do you remember when you just think about it? I know I just said this, but do you remember when he was breaking out? When he just, do you remember, like, you just felt like this kid is going to be special. He is going to be better than Jerry Rice. That's what he was, this kid was predicted to be the best next thing since sliced bread. He was unbelievable, this kid. And it was sad. It was sad. He just couldn't get it together. And like I said before, if he would have put more into the game than he did, he probably would go down as probably one of the best wide receivers to play the game. But he just couldn't get it together, and it's sad. But that's all I got for now. I'm going to get this out to you guys. Got to get going to work here in a few minutes. We're supposed to get hit with this nasty storm today starting at 1 o'clock p.m. So it's going to be, I'll be plowing all this afternoon. I imagine we're supposed to get 5 inches. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's going to get supposed to a little ice. People are predicted to lose power, so this could get nasty. But that's all I got for now, guys. I'm going to get this out to you. Also, again, please consider that what I mentioned it before the video about my next channel that I'm going to get up and going. And that's not a channel that I'm going to be doing by myself. I'm doing it with other people. So please let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in that. And also hit that like for me for the good cause of what we're about to do. So I'm going to do it without you guys. So we're going to be a part of this. And I hope you're a part of that. Also, you already know, baby. Have a great day. God bless. And I'll be back at you with more Browns news. Again, if you're stopping by for the first time, subscribe to the family. Hit that like. And you already know, baby. Go back!